two hard-hitting blue-collar franchises, one of the better rivalries going. The Ravens and Steelers are underway.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
Right to the air is Jackson.
And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Brandon, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
So the Steelers now in great shape to begin their initial possession. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and that will bring up 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. And they're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Now they'll bring one of their tight ends in motion right. Here's Roethlisberger. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Steelers are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play action. Now Jackson. He'll buy some time right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the first down.
On first down, it's Rice.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 9.
They'll keep it on the ground. Rice, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Now Roethlisberger.
That is caught. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Roethlisberger. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Roethlisberger's throw taken in by Miller.
So no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Here's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
The Ravens offense back out there.
They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. We'll start off with a give to Lewis. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
On 2nd down, it's Rice, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Roethlisberger. This will be caught by Brown. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
So here's a 3rd and 14.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Taken in at the 22. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards. on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
Here's Jackson.
That ball caught. It's Rice.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 47 yards.
This play is a thing of beauty when it works as designed because they let the running back slip out of the backfield and head down the sideline on a wheel route. Number one, it's easy for him to get lost. And number two, really tough for the linebacker to run with him. And this ball's right on the money and leads to a big play.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Touchdown! 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Ravens are an extra point away from evening this one up.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
A wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Roethlisberger.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here.
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Roethlisberger will throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. To throw here, Roethlisberger.
Setting up the screen, Harris.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Now it's Roethlisberger.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
Roethlisberger's throw taken in by Green here.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Seven, our score after 1. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Got a man. That's Ward. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. The end result, 21 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. Again, it's Roethlisberger.
Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger.
And this incomplete. Oh, my. He might have been celebrating in the end zone if he'd held on. Nearly picked, but instead, it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
They'll keep it on the ground. Rice, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up.
Now a 3rd and 6.
Now it's Jackson.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a first down.
Jackson on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Jackson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left.
He's going to get it on the jet sweep. This one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains. That was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Roethlisberger.
Here's a slant, and he's got it to Ward.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Roethlisberger. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Harris running straight ahead, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down, and his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
2nd and 10.
Now it's Jackson.
That one into the hands of Flowers.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They'll come up now 3rd and 9.
Play action. Now Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
On 2nd down now, it's Rice. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
What an advantage having a elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
3rd and 9 here.
Throwing is Jackson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Man open left side is Brown. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now Roethlisberger. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5.
And down he goes again. A bevy of sacks in less than a half. But this defense is still losing the game. They've got to fix something, because there should be no excuse for losing with an effort like this on that side of the ball. They need to take advantage when their defense is generating this kind of pressure so early in the game.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And the Ravens taking the field.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Now a handoff up the middle. Rice. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. Hard throw, incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
The Ravens send their punter out now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like, because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge, because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Miller on the catch over the middle. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. To throw here, Roethlisberger.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. This is Miller, complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Now it's Roethlisberger.
Finding Miller once more, complete.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 33. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Ben to throw again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. To throw again is Roethlisberger.
And that is incomplete.
Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Boswell's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this 1st half as the kick's away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Barring a flag, final play here for Flacco and company. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay,
this has
Coach,
certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. It's complete to Brown, right side. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger.
That is caught.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Now an inside give to Bell.
And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6.
Here's Roethlisberger.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Roethlisberger will throw. And that will be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the 1st down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
Dancing away at the 35.
And he's going to have a Ravens 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
1st downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. 2 1st downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. He's got Mason complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. Up the middle they go. It's Rice, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the 1st half, and that trend is continuing here.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Jackson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
And the Steelers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 43. After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. And it's knocked away and incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger.
He's got Brown on the out route complete.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. They go play action with Roethlisberger. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll get this to Ward. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Now Roethlisberger. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
The Steelers send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24.
Here's Jackson to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Flowers. A 6-yard pass on back-to-back plays. Picks up the first.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They'll run on first down. Rice. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On second down, here's Jackson. Over the middle to Smith. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the first down.
On first down, it's Rice, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
On second down, it's Rice, and he stopped immediately there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. This defense, tough to run against, and those linebackers, they'll go side to side up the field, and there they get them for no gain.
If you can't get linemen upfield to the second level to occupy them, they have a field day just running to the football and putting ball carriers on the ground. Not many yards after contact when they wrap up like that.
That'll be caught by Rice. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the first down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on here to punt it away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
To throw here, Roethlisberger.
Targets Miller here on the out route. He's got him.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Now Roethlisberger.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Ben to throw again. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down.
A quick throw there is incomplete. We're in Baltimore, 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. It's complete. It's Miller. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Now it's Roethlisberger. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This will be a 37-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and that will finish off this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return. return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Boswell on now to kick this one away.
Duvernay now going to bring it out. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a two-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. Able to slither by. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
59 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Rice. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 5.
Here's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Now it's Jackson.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 30. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. To throw is Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Rice, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 27 yards.
And the Ravens have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Okay, I know it's an old line, but it still applies here. The fat lady has not sung yet. She may be warming up, but she hasn't sung yet. There's still an opportunity.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's good. It cuts it to 2. 16-14 our score. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback, because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
On third down, Roethlisberger.
Caught.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. This is caught. It's Brown. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Roethlisberger will throw. That's complete to Ward. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 9.
Again, it's Roethlisberger.
One more time for Ward here, and he's got it again.
Only able to gain a couple there. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
They go play action now. Roethlisberger.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Again, it's Harris.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. They start the drive on the ground with Lewis. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a one-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Now Brown. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of it.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And at this stage, in the fourth, they need to work this into the end zone. A field goal doesn't do much. We'll see if they can cash in following the fumble recovery.
Now Jackson on first down.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Rice. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 30.
76 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. He's got Mason complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
And if they're throwing on 3rd down, it's a good bet. They're going to look his way. He's the most reliable of their receivers, and he comes through there with a nice grab for the first down.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He finds his man complete. It's Mason. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Right back to him for 10 more and a first.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
And Jackson going to hold on to it.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This a 33-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul. But the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound. And the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here. Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Completes it to Miller. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
After the interception, here's Jackson.
And that one too wide and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10.
Now it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews.
And the Ravens are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Throwing is Jackson. His pass caught at the 4. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. Lewis between the tackles. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
3rd down and goal coming up here.
They'll try to run this one in. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line.
Fourth quarter, 2 minutes on the clock in a tight one-point game.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on the play of the game now, 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
So now the Steelers down by 2. 1:55 remaining. Now their lead is evaporated, but they still have a shot on 1st down. Here's Roethlisberger.
Pass caught. Miller.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Throwing now is Roethlisberger.
Finding Miller once more, complete.
And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
I like what they did there, still keeping their tight ends involved. They understand it's not quite Hail Mary time just yet.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Now it's Roethlisberger.
He's got Bell.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Now 2nd and 4.
Roethlisberger to throw. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go.
Here's 1st down.
Back to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Miller. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Well, this offense still has the 1 timeout here, remember. 1st and 10.
He's back to throw. Miller on the catch over the middle. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all, because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, He's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. He's hit 3 times already, and this for the win. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. 3 for 3 so far, and a 4th would win it. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So they tried to ice him there, but it's fair to say it did not have the intended effect.
And I've known kickers that take it as an affront. And there he says, you think you're going to rattle me? Think again.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Baltimore, so long, everybody.